in. Oh man, this one is the easy one. This one is a layup, right? So thank you, Armio Say Frimpong, also known as the Funky Academic, for this link. I will watch the whole lecture or back and forth between Gloria Steinem and Bell Hooks. So for those of you that click the link, it's in the description, right? Um, Armio Say Frimpong, also known as the Funky Academic, plays us a clip of Gloria Steinem speaking to Bell Hooks. And what we find out is Gloria Steinem was once in love with a man who earned pretty much nothing, right? And she speaks about how in love she was with him, and this is like the one real love of her life. And Bell Hooks responds that she could never, right? That ain't the man for her. Now, this is after Bell Hooks said she's looking for love, but everywhere she goes, she finds patriarchy. Now, Army Ose Frimpong literally he catches it, and I caught it too, right? So he didn't even have to say anything. We If you watch the clip in the if you watch the link, you'll see what we caught. If you're really trying to fight against patriarchy, right, then why do you have a problem being the one that pays? This is the wall that women in general, but black women specifically, today we're going to focus mainly on black women, because Gloria Steinem, like the mother of second wave feminism, right? This is like the mother of second wave feminism, is having a conversation when one of the architects of black feminism or black second wave feminism, Bell Hooks, and they're having a conversation, right? These are like the two like luminaries of feminism, black feminism, and they're having a conversation as peers. And Gloria Steinem says something very clear. She was in love with a man that earned less than her. And Bell Hooks said, not the man for me. Now, why this is important is because of how pivotal Bell Hooks is in overall black discourse, especially amongst black women, college educated black women, feminist black women. Now you understand why they're running headlong into the wall that is their own hypocrisy. Because the godmother of their ideology ran headlong into the hypocrisy herself, right? How can we expect the everyday black woman, college educated black woman, not to be hypocritical when the person they see as like, once again, this kind of beacon of black feminism, she too, right? Now you understand Ebony K. Williams. Now you understand why Kim Foster even, you can see she kind of cringes knowing she's going to be the primary breadwinner. Now you understand where Chrissy is coming from. Now you understand Yenny. And mind you, Yenny and Chrissy, they're not in the same realm as the Kim Fosters and the Ebony K. Williams, but still, now you see why so many black women are running into that wall and they sound like such hypocrites trying to marry patriarchy and feminism. That's why my title is what it is. They sound the way they do because they make no sense. And they make no sense because this person who you can't really have a conversation with any black feminist, any intersectional feminist without Bill's name coming up. Yes, Kimberly Crenshaw was the one who coined the term, intersectional feminism, right? But you gotta know that Bell Hooks was pivotal, right? So this is not about dancing on Bell Hooks' grave. We're not going to do that here. But we are going to critique this issue that so many women in developed countries, particularly in America, particularly Black Americans, have, right? So you can see this is what informs them. This is Ebony K. Williams speaking about the bus driver, or Ebony K. Williams speaking about Gabrielle Union and D Wade's relationship, right? This is Yanni speaking about wanting to be a kept woman of leisure while she's earning six figures, right? She's earning six figures. She can do it herself, but she still wants a man that provides even more. Now, this was my response to Dr. Richard Reeves when he's like, no, the women are just looking, they're using money as a way to assess whether you have it together, whether you're disciplined enough, whether you can take care of yourself. No. How blatant do the women have to be? They're looking for a paymaster. They will take the jobs. They will take the careers. They will take the valedictorian positions. Those women will take all of that. Thank you. They're clapping. Thank you. And they still want an ultimate provider. Who has the clip around that has the woman that says that the black woman that says, I miss the days when men would protect, provide, and shut up. She said either provide, protect, and shut up, or protect, provide, and shut up. Either way, she switched the words up, but either way. If this crucial and pivotal character in black feminism couldn't even get it right in this respect, what hope do the rest of them have? What hope do the rest of them have? Now you see why they sound the way they do. Mr. Z's been saying it and saying, and I'm not the only one. I'm just putting words to it, but it's something that many of us have thought and felt and seen and experienced. And even some have said it before Mr. Z. The issue is that these women are trying to marry the best parts of feminism with the best parts of patriarchy that they've decided. And that's why they're miserable, single, seething, angry, insulting men, belittling men, etc., etc. Because yes, they want the freedom that feminism affords them. Yes, they want the power and the influence that feminism affords them. Yes, they want the finances that feminism affords them. And they still want men to be the ultimate providers and protectors. That's patriarchy. Right? And to see the white woman, the agent, right? Now y'all see where Anne Marie Slaughter comes in. Now you see where Gloria Steinem comes in. The white women, not all, but at least these 10 toes down feminists, these white feminists, they get it. They get it. The black women, not so much. Does this not explain why they're so single? Right? What did Ebony K. Williams say when she was speaking about Gabrielle Union? If I have to go 50-50, I might as well be in a relationship with you. And she was speaking to another black woman, by the way. Does that not explain why black women have the largest LGBTQ rate in the country, particularly bisexual? Do you get it now, FD signifier? Do you get it now, Eddie? Excuse me. Do you get it now, Josh? Do you get it now consciously? Right? Do you get it now, foreign man in a foreign land? Do y'all get it now? Oh, I forgot. Y'all told us, oh, we just want y'all to beat up on the women. Don't worry, black women are handling black women. Tick tock, tick tock. Right? The women aren't addressing the other women, man. They're not trying to get them off of this hypocrisy. And this hypocrisy affects all of society. It affects the black community, it affects all of society. As I said, the internet will expose us all. I said it and I meant it, right? I said it and I meant it. Even Dr. Richard Reeves, he said it, right? Said it kind of in passing, but yeah, as women do well, and they feel like men are not on their level, they're they might engage in same sex. Of course, that's not love. That's throwing a damn temper tantrum. That's not a black woman in love with another black woman. That's loneliness and anger and, well, I guess. Let me say it again. Now you see why so many of them are in same sex relationships? Now do you see why so many of them are bisexual? You know what bisexual mean? Waiting until the man comes and buy me. I'll be with this woman until a man comes and buy me. And I sit it crass like that for a reason. Now do you see why so many of them are calling themselves, air quotes, queer? Right? What did Bell Hooks call herself? Queer pa gay. Do you gotta say? I mean, like, these things write themselves exactly. To better you says, Z, she's a Buddhist. I thought the goal was enlightenment through shedding worldly possessions. The irony writes itself. They don't mean none of that stuff they saying, right? Better you. They don't mean any of that thing. How can they mean it when even Bell Hooks, a pillar in black feminism, even she couldn't get together. When I told you, at least on paper, Bell Hooks says she hadn't had sex in some, what, 18 years, 13 years, 17 years, something like that, right? So for you to say, and that sounds nice, right? To say that in a room full of women, black women, white women, Latina women, that's cute to say, oh, I'm looking for love, but everywhere I go, I find patriarchy. And then a little while later say, when Gloria Steinem is speaking about being in love with a man that had no money, no possessions, and you say that's not the man for me, right? So your first statement, that sounds like that's a perfect statement coming out of the mouth of a feminist. Oh, the feminist heart swooned when you said that. Yeah, I'm looking for love too, and all I find are these patriarchs, these rough men, these egotistical men, these narcissist men. Everywhere I go, that's what I find. Yeah, that sounds nice. Minutes later, sounding like a patriarch yourself. Let's cut the crap. It's not something that y'all struggle with, because somewhere there's gonna be a black woman saying, and I think, who says this? Kim Foster says this. I think Juicy might have said this too, but definitely Kim Foster says this. We're raised in patriarchy. And it's a hard thing. No, y'all trying to reconcile two things. You want both, and it's okay to say you want both. You know why you won't? Because you realize, this is a people thing, not a woman thing, and not a black woman thing. When you go out there loud as hell saying what you want, you get what you get. And if you don't get what you're saying you want and you deserve, after you done screamed it out on a blowhorn, especially belittling the people you think you're better than, if you fail in the pursuit to get this thing, people look at you like, well, yeah, I don't feel sorry for her. Yeah, yeah. And everyone knows it. That's why people are reluctant to tell the world exactly what they think they deserve and what level they think they are, what they think they're better than, who they think they're better than. Not some black women. It's not that you're struggling to to leave these old world order way of thinking, old patriarchy. It's not like you're struggling. No, you want a paymaster. It hurts to pay those bills, even if you can afford it. I want to stress that part. Let me emphasize that. We're talking about people that can afford to pay these bills themselves, right? We're talking about people that are highly educated. We're talking about people that are making good money, that are in high positions, that are notable, and they still struggle to open their pocketbook, open their wallet, open their purse, and pay these bills, right? They want a paymaster and they want to walk with someone that makes them feel secure when they're walking. They still want provider protector. Now, all the other parts of patriarchy, no, no, no. But that paymaster, that walking wallet, and overglorified guard dog, oh yeah, they want that, right? Right? So when Mr. Z says this, and I sound like a crazy person, or I sound like you don't know what you're talking about, to some I sound sexist, misogynistic, right? Now that we have bell hooks struggling to reconcile these two things, now what? In front of everyone's face, by the way, right? Huh. Now what? Right? So we know, Bell Hooks was an author, American author, theorist, educator, and social critic. Now that social critic part, social critic. So you're critiquing these things while you're struggling with them yourself. You're critiquing patriarchy while you want it in everything but name. And that's something that I want to start emphasizing more and more, is that these women want patriarchy. They want the two tenets of patriarchy, the provider protector part of patriarchy, but they don't want the leadership. They don't want black male leadership, right? They want the protection and provider part of patriarchy without the leadership, right? And DA says, and thank you for this comment, DA. DA says, you don't sound crazy. Women are picking and choosing aspects of patriarchy they want and rejecting other aspects. The problem is that it just doesn't work that way. And the reason why it doesn't work that way is because this becomes very hypocritical real soon. Imagine asking someone, a random person, let's not even make it a man woman thing, let's imagine asking someone to protect you, right? If something goes bump in the night, they have to be the first one downstairs to see what it is, right? You're asking them to walk on the outside of the sidewalk. You're asking them to potentially put their life on the line for you. You're asking them to be the one to fight the dog if there's a dog chasing us down the street. You're asking this person to be that person. you're also asking this person to take on the majority of the bills, if not all the bills at the home. So they take on the mortgage that might be more than the utilities, right? And maybe they also take on your automobile. So they pay for their automobile, your automobile, and the mortgage. Or at least the mortgage, and you have your automobile and the utilities, but you have the smaller bills. So we looking at 60 40, 70 30, 80 20, 90 10, or just 100 and 0, right? But at least at the bare minimum, you asking them to take on at least the 60% of the bills. And then imagine telling that person, oh, by the way, you don't get the final say, so you're not the leader. Imagine that. So what am I getting for all of this? This you're getting this womb. You're getting this vagina. And I still reserve the right to renege on this contract because once again, we know that women file for something like 70 and 80% of divorces. Imagine that. You do all this leadership stuff. You do all of this protect. Oh, sorry, I said leadership. Wrong. You do all the protection stuff. You do all the provider stuff, or at least you take on the heavy part, right? You take on the heavy part. And then this person tells you, by the way, you don't get the final say so. And I'm gonna be snarky to you. And what you get for all of this is the one or two kids that we have that I possibly can take from you in a divorce because you left the toilet seat up one too many times. Imagine that. Imagine that. So that's what we're running into, the hypocrisy of it all. And thank you very much for this, to the funky academic. Dr. Richard Reeves, where you at? This is what we're talking about. So y'all could try more and more to socialize the men to be more egalitarian. You're going to keep on running into this wall specifically for heterosexual relationships. Now it's more egregious in the black community. Black women are so much louder about the fact that they want to be feminists while they want also patriarchy. They're louder about it. But even for non-black women, this society is going to keep on running into this wall. Yes, your daughters want the education. Yes, they want the degrees. Yes, they want the high-paying jobs. If not, at least the middle management jobs. Yes. But they want a man to pay that mortgage. They want a man to pay for that luxury car. And yes, Mr. Z did listen to Jason Black's The Business stream a couple nights ago, speaking about boss babes, right? Yes. And this hypocrisy is affecting your society because the women are telling you, unlike our mothers who married our fathers and then became dissatisfied later on, these women are telling you off top from the beginning. Yeah, I don't know if I'm getting married or having kids or any of that until a man can buy me. Right? For them, it's whether it's worth it or not. And shout out to the brother who said that in my comment section. Right? And I said, this is we're referencing Yanni at this point. Real talk with Yanni, who's essentially telling you, yes, I make all of this money. Yes, I have this nice apartment or condo. I think it's an apartment. I have this nice, expensive BMW. But guess what? I need a man to make more. So yes, I make six figures. So now that women are slowly telling you, because for the longest it was, I need him to make that for him. I need him to make that for his own ego so he doesn't feel insecure, right? I need him to make this type of money so that I can know that he's serious about life. Now they starting to tell you, yeah, no, I need him to make that money to buy me stuff, to buy me and to buy me stuff. Now that the women are slowly beginning to say that, not in those exact words yet. Give it another 2 or so years, maybe a year. They'll start saying it just like that also. Not that they're saying it now, what does the society want men to do? Black men to do. Now do you see why there's a passport, bros? Now do you see why there's a SYSBM? Detroit, you was ahead of me. You were ahead of me. I was getting there. And Detroit says that's why Passport Bros has left the building, right? Now do you understand? Let me say it again. I'm gonna say this a bunch of times. Now do we see why black women are the most same-sex loving group of people in America, particularly bisexual? You get it now? Especially after what Ebony K. Williams said when she was reviewing the Gabrielle Union and D Wade situation. Do y'all get it now? The women say, they say it in passing all the time. They say it in a blink and you'll miss it comment all the time. Women in general, black women specifically, tell you what they are on and who they are. They say it all the time. It's just that people like to ignore it. They're telling you who they are. What did Ebony say? Well, if I got to go 50-50, I might as well be with you. And she was speaking to another black woman. So y'all can continue to try and attempt and struggle to make your sons more egalitarian. Your sons are not moving another inch. It's not your sons. Dear Richard Reeves, and Richard Reeves has 3 sons from my understanding. It's not your sons, Richard. Dr. Richard Reeves, it's not your sons. It's not the boys. It's not the men. It's the women. Right? It's the women. And our society is struggling with that. It's the women, and the women are telling you, yeah, no, I'll pass. For bell hooks to say that, and she said it in jest too. No, she meant it. She meant what she said. She said it, and you heard the women in the crowd laughing. Hee 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 hee. Yeah, and now you see why the black community is the way it is, right? Now you see why the black community is the way it is. Look at that contrast. Both of these women are feminist pillars for second wave feminism. Both of these women are notable. You can't go anywhere without hearing their names when it comes to women and women empowerment. And yet, one of them, even if let's say she was pretending, let's say Gloria Steinem was pretending, one of them knows enough to own that, A, if I want this equality and this egalitarian society, I have to know that as a woman, I might out earn my male counterpart. One of them knows enough to know to actually at least articulate that, and the other says, yeah, no, I'll pass. Right? Not the man. Well, that's not the man for me. Huh. A black feminist. That's not the man for me. Right? So let's go back a few weeks. So when Iyanla Van Zant says a bus driver, I'm not talking about one that's just, on the couch playing video games. He's good to his mother. He loves you. He this, he that. And Ebony K. Williams was like, nope. If he owns the bus, now what? Hmm? And Kim Foster want to keep on talking about class. Kim, just be honest, bro. You just want to do with the money, bro. You want to talk all this feminist crap while your man's paying the bills at the house. Mr. Z, y'all know I worked for the Florida Democratic Party. I ran into them. White feminists talking all this crap. Stay at home mothers. Get out of here. Get out of here. You stay at home mother talking all this feminist crap because you live and die off of your man's income, your husband's income. That's the gold right there, people. Talk all this female empowerment stuff on a man's dime, on men's dime, on the taxpayer who mainly are men's dime. Huh. Just be glad that Bell Hooks said it. Be glad that Ebony K. Williams said it. Be glad that Kim Foster's saying it. Be glad that Yanni's saying it, that Kim is saying it, that Paris is saying it, that Shira 7 is saying it, that Cynthia G is saying it, Lexus Exodus and Mahogany Pink are saying it. Be glad that they're saying it and move accordingly. If you're going to be passport bros, then do that. If you're going to be SYSBM, then do that. If you're going to still date black women, black American women, but you're going to look at them very suspiciously, then do that. All Mr. Z is going to do is provide you with the information. Of course, I'm going to give my take on it. But on the advice part, I'm a little weary because I'm younger than half of my subscribers, right? And you brothers have a wealth of knowledge and experience that trumps mine, some of you. But I'm definitely going to always come to you guys with the information as much as I can, right? And Oliver Great, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you very much, right? So now what? You know, we know that bell hooks is required reading. And give me a second. This thing is not showing. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we know that bell hooks is required reading for many, female or feminist classes, particularly anything that has to do with women of color or black women and feminism. We understand that, and yet look at what she struggled with. Now you see why so many women, particularly black women, struggle with having this influence, having this wealth, or at least this money, this a high level of income, and yet they're single. And yet they're single. And they're single, unhappy, chastising men. They're chastising men. They like to call it, air quotes, constructive criticism, and they're real heavy on the criticism part. Why? Because they want to be boss chicks and then meet a man, then be a boss chick on his dime. Because remember, they're not building with you. Remember that part. Very important. Because building is struggle. And they said no struggle of. These are the same women that told you no struggle of. Don't forget. Right? Huh. A front of the white women. Right? A front. Yeah, man, y'all be giving. This is why white people move the way they move. Because in front of us, they always take this like moral standing, and it's so easy. You let Gloria Steinem out moral you as a black woman. You let Gloria Steinem make more sense than you as a black woman. You let the agent make more sense than you. You made her look like she did the social math and you didn't. She understands what comes with feminism and you don't. Wow. No wonder these women sound the way they do. No wonder, right? And so right now we're gonna do a little intermission for a couple minutes, right? Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give Mr. Z a couple minutes, and I'll be right back with you guys. All right, everyone. And we're back. My apologies, y'all. My apologies. My apologies. We're back. We're back. There's people like, oh, no sound. No, the Z is here. Z is back. So let me read this real quick. And no placeholder. Funny. And no placeholder says, I suppose same sex is better than marrying oneself. Yes. And I mean, we know what it is now. So I want to know where all the people that say love is love, where are they? Right? It is okay, ladies, that you want this is a thing for you, right? It's okay. It's okay that this is what you're looking for. Now, are you gonna get it? Is criticizing men all day, every day, is that beneficial? Probably not. Is talking down to men beneficial? Probably not. Is reconciling your hypocrisy beneficial? Probably, right? And once again, thank you, no placeholder, for that super chat. They're running into this wall because one of the most pivotal second wave black feminists, right? Black feminists of the second wave. Look at how she sounds. Like I said, it sounds good. Oh, it sounds good to say you're looking for love, but everywhere you go is patriarchy. Oh, that sounds real good. Oh, that's a good sound bite for a black feminist, and for a feminist in general. That's a great sound bite. A few minutes later, and you let Gloria Steinem outflank you out of anyone. And then you said it like it was a joke. No, you meant what you said. They want provider protector without the patriarchy or the leadership. Where they do that at? Can't you just pay the bills and like protect me if something goes wrong and not be the leader? I mean, like the black woman said, and I'm gonna review that clip too. I miss the days when men would just provide, protect, and shut up. The internet will expose us all. Or better yet, we'll expose ourselves on the internet. Right? So our academics and our scholars, and I'm not speaking about the Green Gorillas or the Dr. Ron O'Neills or the, Dr. you know, Dr. T, and no, I'm not speaking about those. I'm speaking about the Dr. Richard Reeves. I'm speaking about the FD signifiers. I'm speaking about the Khadijas of the world. Now what? What happened? Now what? All of these college educated people, women, black women, your biggest issue is you want men to like the black woman said, she what she said was accurate. I'm just going to say it again. You just want men to provide, to protect, and to shut, right? To provide, to protect, and to shut up. and don't expect anything for that. This vagina is good enough until I'm tired of giving it. Hmm. So we've spent decades critiquing men and pathologizing men, particularly black men. We have spent decades, centuries, decades insulting black men, saying that black men want to be white patriarchs. We have spent decades having women like bell hooks essentially say black men want to be white patriarchs. Right? The Alice Walkers, the bell hooks, the what's her name that came up with how Stella got her groove back, all of them. When in reality, you want a white man, but you also want patriarchy. Not all of patriarchy, not full fat patriarchy. No, you want the provider protector part of patriarchy. Hmm. The freedom of feminism, the liberty of feminism, but with the money and the status and the air quotes protection of patriarchy. Huh. And on that note, all right, y'all. This one isn't going to be a long stream. Mr. Z has to run. But, I for any of you that didn't check out the link in the description, please, please, please check out the link in the description. Shout out to Army Osei Frimpong, the funky academic, another academic, obviously, funky academic. Like I said, I've been to the funky academic for years. Good stuff. I've referenced him. I spoke about him before. Dr. T. I was so happy to see that he interviewed with Dr. T. That was a great conversation. For those of you that never saw it, check it out. The Onyx Report. And you could put Army Osei Frimpong or the funky academic, and it should come up. But yeah, it was yeah, right. And Big Kev says they blame black men for them being shallow and superficial. Of course, Big Kev, right? Oh, I didn't know that. Keep it 100 said this. The provider male is dead, and he says the silent and stoic provider male is dead. Keep it 100. Okay, I didn't know he said that. Okay, right. Wow. Yeah. And this is something that I think we need. Having it confirmed is important. And like I said, you choose where you go from here. Mr. Z dates black women. I'm probably gonna stay dating black women, right? If me and my lady don't work out, that is. That's what I prefer. But this information is important in the way I move and speak to women, even platonic friends. It's important, right? What this does is help you to get shovel all the minutia out the way. Don't get caught up in the weeds and all the BS of what they're suggesting and implying. No, no, no. Go right to it. You want to be boss chick on a man's dime. Much of this is actually a class argument if we're going to get right to it. I want a man that allows me to look down on everyone else, right? I want a man who has the money and the status. The protection part, you could file that under status, right? Because remember, protection is a preventative measure. And if your man is that high ranking, then people won't even talk to you crazy because they know who he is. You don't have to fear anything because people know who he is, right? Hmm. So, like I said before, and let's close out with this. So, once again, Bell Hooks was American author, theorist, educator, and social critic. Emphasis on the social critic, right? Right. And let's not forget why this is important. How critical and pivotal and how how Bell Hooks sits at a as a pillar in black feminist discourse, how even outside of women that would even call themselves feminists, they will regurgitate some type of Bell Hooks line, right? That's why this is important. Because if, excuse me, if one of the pillars of black feminists, the one of the architects of second wave black feminism, if she can't even reconcile these things, once again, what hope does Yanni have or Chrissy? Yanni telling you straight. It's it's so interesting how these things are happening, right? What did Yanni just say to us a week ago? It wasn't even a couple weeks ago. A week ago, she wants to be a kept woman of leisure, even though she makes all this money. And like the brother said in my comments, essentially make it worth it. Financially make it worth because they see being in a relationship with a man as having shackles. So pay me to be enslaved to you. Whatever weird way they're conceptualizing being in a relationship to a man and maybe having to consider what he says. Oh God, the horror. I have to actually consider what he says. I might actually have to do what he says sometimes. Oh, he might be right sometimes. I might not be able to sass him all the time or be snarky all the time. Oh, the horror. Oh, he gonna have to pay me to do that, right? Huh. What hope does Chrissy have? What hope does Cynthia G have? Now you'll understand why so many of them are walking around here, boss chick this, and some of them, they're not even saying it, but their demeanor. I'm queen of the universe. They call themselves queens everywhere you go, and yet they still want a man to pay, financially pay. Huh. If KFC, you man, look, this writes itself. I'm not even gonna say joke and understand. Notice, Mr. Z has not made fun of bell hooks. The, I'm not about dancing on the graves of the dead, except for a few. Ronnie Reagan, he might get. I might dance on Ronnie Reagan's grave, right? But particularly black people, I'm not dancing on black people's grave, right? And Kev C says, and thank you for the super chat, Kev C. And thanks for wrapping up my comment in a nice bow, wrapping up this video in a nice bow. And Kev C says, Bell Hooks died alone and against patriarchy, but demanded that a man break his back paying her bills. Meanwhile, Gloria Steinem, G. Steinem, betrayed black women and got married. What else y'all need to know? What else do you need to know? Right? What else do you I mean, and she's the one making bell hooks look. She said the greatest love of her life or love of her life, he didn't have anything, blah blah blah. And then and the comment wasn't even necessary. The comment was not even necessary. And bell hooks couldn't help it. Ooh, not the man for me. All right then. Right? Alrighty then. Nothing wrong with that. But hey, and you let so many black women down your road, Miss Bell Hooks. You let so many women down your road. So many black women followed you. And yes, the Raj Report is right. You got to be held accountable for what you believe in. But so many black women followed you, Bell Hooks. And they're miserable and single. Yeah. Do I got to say it? Kind of like you. Right? And Carlton, I'm not going to say your last name. Thank you for the Cash App. Thank you very much. Right? Wow. So many following you to oblivion. And the issue is that they're not only hurting themselves, they're hurting others because they can't reconcile these two things because they are opposed. How do you have female liberation, female empowerment, but still want men to pay? Like you you want egalitarianism, but still want men to pay. Pay everything really, but at least take the heavy bills. Shoulder the brunt of everything. But you want female empowerment. And shout out to Nameless. This is truly the hive model they're trying to work on. And just have men be worker bees. They have the mandingo bees, and then they have the worker bees. And the masses of men will just be worker bees. To provide these particular type of women a platform to tell those same worker bees how much of losers they are. This is not sustainable. It's not. 17 years no sex, if she is to be believed. Yeah. Calling herself queer pa gay. It's not sustainable, people. As evidenced by black women's love life and sex life. It's not sustainable. 20 some odd, was it 23% of black women are some type of LGBTQ? And most of that is because of their bisexual rate. Once again, bisexual really is, I'm with this woman because I'm single and lonely until the paymaster man comes along. Well, on that note, and thank you, Jay Bones, for this super sticker. Thank you very much. On that note, I guess we'll end out there. And Big Kev gotta have the last comment, and Big Kev says the far left cops pleas for bell hooks because they don't want to admit that they helped to create a gynocentric Godzilla of post second wave feminism. I mean, on that note, they're never gonna admit it, Big Kev. Huh? Maybe not never. Let's reel that back. But as of right now, yeah, no, nah, nope, nope. And notice, like I said, Yanni it got caught up in this. You don't see her spouting up she wouldn't call herself a card carrying feminist. Chrissy actually says anti-feminist stuff, but she still sound like this, right? So even the women that would claim that they're not, you know, card carrying feminists, they still sound like this, you know? So on that note, everyone, like, share, subscribe, hit the thank you button for the replay squad. Go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Um, and we'll truly pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. And y'all have a great rest of y'all day, right? Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Go check out the link in the description if you haven't already. And yeah, so Mr. Z out. All right, everybody.